Hello and welcome to session 6. We're looking at persuasion, ideas. So let's get into this. Right, so I'm going to share my screen and off we go. So here you can see we're going to look at express opinions, arguments, and support them with relevant and persuasive evidence. And if we think about what we saw in the above sessions, we saw really terrible news debate where neither really had persuasive arguments. I mean, they both had ideas, they were both passionate, but there was no evidence in what they were saying. It was just who was shouting the loudest. We saw a video on Stephen Fry and how well he was putting his argument across about political correctness. So again, really solid speaking and listening is where we need to be to express opinions there. We've got our session plan, we've got our PowerPoints, we've got our extended work, we've got our handouts, and we've got our beyond the classroom work. So let's get into this and let's have a look. So speak up, mastering persuasive communication. So here we're going to look at the importance of giving an opinion, how to give opinions effectively, the art of justifying choice, strategies for justifying, using approaches or using appropriate information, finding reasonable sources, the power of persuasion, understand your audience, using emotion, using logic, the role of the body language, overcoming objections. Ethics, putting it all together, a few examples, and then some case studies and a conclusion. So let's start off with, welcome to the art of persuasion. So have you ever found yourself struggling to convince somebody your point of view? Or maybe you've been on the receiving end of a persuasive argument and you found yourself kind of swayed by the speaker's words. Either way, you've experienced the power of persuasive communication. In today's world, where information is abundant, the opinions are freely shared, being able to effectively persuade others is a valuable skill. Whether you're trying to sell a product, win an argument, or simply get someone to see something from your perspective, knowing how to communicate persuasively can make all the difference. So the importance of giving options. Giving options is not only a way to express oneself, but also a way to contribute to a discussion at hand. By sharing their thoughts, individuals can help shape their conversations, bringing new perspective to the table. This can ultimately lead to better decision-making and problem-solving as a group, as a whole. In addition, giving options can also benefit the individual. It allows them to practice critical thinking and communication skills, which are valuable in both personal and professional settings. It can boost confidence, self-esteem, and as individuals, empowers them to share ideas. So giving an opinion effectively. Giving options is an essential part of effective communication. However, it's not just about expressing your thoughts. It's also about how you convey them to give an opinion effectively. It's important to use evidence to support your argument and acknowledge other viewpoints to help build credibility and establish a common ground for your audience. One strategy for giving opinions effectively is to use I statements. This involves stating your opinion is a way of taking ownership of it rather than presenting it as a fact. For example, instead of saying the move was terrible, I could say, in my opinion, the move wasn't very good. This approach allows far more open discussion and encourages others to share their own opinions. The art of justifying choice. Justifying choice is an essential skill in decision-making and processes and when presenting ideas to others. It involves providing reasons of evidence to support choice and considering the perspective of others by justifying your choice. You can increase your credibility and persuasion of others to see things from your point of view. For example, in a business setting, justifying your choice or strategy or approach can help convey stakeholders of its potential success. In a personal context, justifying your choice or activity can demonstrate that it can be persuasive to others to join you. Ultimately, justifying choice is about communicating effectively and building on trust with others. So let's look at some strategies to justify choice. When justifying choice, it's important to use logic and reasoning to support your argument. This means using facts and evidence to back up your claim and present them in a clear and concise manner. It is also important to consider the perspective of others and acknowledge any potential weaknesses or counter-arguments in your position. In addition to using logic and reasoning provided by examples, you can also be effective strategies for justifying choice. By offering consensus examples that illustrates your point, you can help make your argument more reliable and persuasive. Finally, it's important to open to feedback and willing to receive your position if necessary. Willing to revise your position if necessary. By showing a willingness to listen to others and consider alternative viewpoints, you can build trust and credibility towards your audience. So, using appropriate information when giving when giving your opinion or justifying a choice, it's important to use accurate and relevant information to support your argument. Using inaccurate or irrelevant information can harm your credibility and make it difficult for others to trust your perspective. For example, if you're presenting a proposal at work and you use outdated statistics to support your argument, your colleagues may question your validity for your proposal and be less likely to support it. To ensure that you're using appropriate information, take the time to research your topic thoroughly and gather information from credible sources. This can include academic journals, news sources, and expert opinions. By using reliable sources, you can strengthen your argument and increase your credibility with your audience. Finding the reasonable source or reliable source. When conducting research or seeking information, it's important to ensure that the sources you use are reliable and trustworthy. One way to do this is look at the source that you've been pre-reviewed or published in reputable academic journals. These sources have undergone rigorous scrutiny from other experts in the field, ensuring their accuracy and validity. Another way to find reliable sources is to seek out reputable news sources that have been tracked, recorded for providing accurate and unbiased reporting. Well, I don't know any news company that does that. If you know of any, let me know. It's important to consider the credibility, the credentials, and the experts of the author or organisation behind the source, as well as any potential biases they may have. Finally, seeking out expert opinions from recognised authorities in the field can prove valuable insights. So the power of persuasion. Persuasive communication is a powerful tool and can be used to influence others in a variety of contexts. In marketing, for example, persuasive techniques can convince customers to buy products or services. In political persuasive communication, it can be used to sway voters to gain support for candidates or politicians. And in personal relationship, persuasive communication can be used to negotiate and resolve conflicts. One of the key strategies used in persuasive communication is to appeal to the emotion of the audience. By tapping into their feeling and desire, a speaker can create a strong connection with the audience and increase the persuasiveness of their message. Another effective strategy is to use its evidence and logic to support your argument. By presenting the facts and data that backs up your claims, you can establish credibility and build trust with your audience. Using emotion in your persuasions. So emotion can be a powerful tool in persuasive communication. By tapping into the audience's emotions, a speaker can create a connection with them. And they do that really well in TED Talks. So if you watch TED Talks, you kind of just buy into it. And again, Stephen Fry does that. He brings you on that journey. A speaker can create, a speaker can create a connection with them and enhance the persuasiveness of their message. For example, a charity or organisation may use emotions to appeal to encourage donations by showing heart-wrenching images of people in need. However, it's important to use emotional strategically and ethically. Emotions should be used to support a message, not to manipulate the audience. A speaker should also consider the cultural backgrounds and values of the audience when using emotional appeals. So using logic and reasoning. Using logic and reasoning is an effective way to support your message in a persuasive communication. By presenting logical arguments and the use of reasoning, you can provide evidence to back up your opinions and convey to your audience as a viewpoint. It's important to use logic and reasoning in a clear and concise manner so that your audience can easily understand your argument. For example, if you try to persuade somebody to support a particular policy, you might use statistics and data to demonstrate the benefit of the policy. You could also use alongside a hypothetical scenario to illustrate your point. By using logic and reasoning, you can make a compelling case for your position, increase the likelihood of your audience to be persuaded. Body language plays a crucial role in persuasive communication. It can also convey confidence, security, and other important qualities that helps persuade audiences. For example, maintaining eye contact with your audience can significantly increase confidence and trustworthiness, while smiling can convey warmth and approachability. In addition to these basic cues, there are many other ways that body language can be used effectively in persuasive communication. For instance, using hand gestures can help emphasize key points and make them more memorable, while standing up straight can convey authority and conviction. By paying attention to these cues, speakers can enhance their persuasiveness of the message and connect more effectively with the audience. Overcoming objections. So overcoming objections is a crucial component when in a persuasive communication. When presenting an argument, it's important to anticipate potential objections and address them in a persuasive manner. One effective strategy is to acknowledge the objection and provide evidence for reason that supports your argument. For example, if someone objects to a proposed solution, if, for example, someone objects to your proposed solution, you can acknowledge their concerns and explain how their proposed solution addresses those concerns, whilst providing evidence that supports to its effectiveness. Other effective strategies is to reframe the objection as an opportunity to further strengthen your argument. For example, if somebody objects to a proposed course of action being taken because it's too expensive, then you can reframe the objection by explaining how the benefits of the proposed course of action outweigh the costs, and how investing in the proposed course of actions will lead to long-term savings and benefits. Ethics of persuasion. So persuasive communication is a powerful tool and can be used to influence others. However, it's important to consider the ethical implications of the using of these tools. One ethical consideration is to use for example, if a speaker knowingly presents false information or misinformation or distorts the truth in order to persuade their authority, they are acting unethically. Another consideration is the use of fear tactics. So if a speaker uses fear to manipulate their audience to take in certain actions, they are also acting unethically. It's important to remember that persuasive communication should be used responsibly and with integrity. Speakers should strengthen and to present accurate information and avoid manipulative tactics. By doing so, they can build trust with the audience and establish themselves as a credible source of information. And I guess what we're saying now is if you think of Donald Trump, if you think of Boris Johnson, if you think of all of what they've said, they were completely untrustworthy. They just seem to make it up as they went along. Putting this all together, so in summary, persuasive communication is a powerful tool. It can be used in a variety of contexts, from persuading relationships to marketing and politics. Giving options and justifying choices are important skills and can benefit both the individual and groups. But it's crucial to use appropriate information and to consider to consider the perspectives of others. Understanding your audience and the use of emotions, logic, and body language effectively can enhance the persuasiveness of your message. Overcoming objections and addressing them, counter-arguments in a persuasive manner requires careful preparation and practice. Finally, it's important to remember the ethical considerations involved in persuasive communication. Developing effective persuasive communication skills takes time and effort, but it's well worth it. Whether you're trying to convince somebody to buy a product, to support a political candidate, or simply to simply listen to your point of view, the ability to communicate persuasively can make all the difference. By using the tips and the strategies covered in this presentation, and by practicing them regularly, you can become a more effective communicator and achieve greater success within a range of situations. So, examples of persuasive communications. One example of persuasive communication is Martin Luther King. I have a dream speech. In this speech, King uses powerful language to inspire his audience and advocates for civil rights. He uses metaphors such as comparing the strength of civil rights to the check that he had returned marked insufficient funds to help his message memorable and impact. Another example of persuasive communication is Nike's Just Do It in its advertisement campaign. This campaign features the athletics pushing themselves to their limits and achieving their goals with the tagline, Just Do It, encouraging viewers to do the same. The use of inspiring visuals and simple, memorable slogans can help make this campaign effectively and motivate customers to purchase the products. Giving opinions. In this interactive exercise, we'll be preparing the art of giving an opinion. Each participant will have an opportunity to share their thoughts on a given topic, receive feedback from their peers. This exercise will help develop the communication skills and learn how to express your ideas more effectively. To start, we'll divide you into 4 groups, assign each group a discussion topic, and each person will have 2 minutes to give their opinion on the topic, whilst the others listen and take notes. After everyone has spoken, we'll provide constructive feedback on each other's delivery, content, and overall effectiveness. This exercise will not only improve your ability to articulate your ideas, but also enhance your ability to receive back graciously. So we'll do that in 5 minutes. Justifying choices. This activity will help you justify your choices. Participants will be given a scenario. They'll be asked to make a decision based on the information provided. They'll have to justify their choices to their peers and provide feedback on the effectiveness of their argument. The exercise will help participants develop persuasive communication skills and learn how to respond to objections in a constructive manner. To give an example, imagine that a manager at a company, you need to decide which candidates to hire for a new position. You have 2 candidates with similar qualification. One has more experience in the industry, but the other has more diverse set of skills. After considering all the factors, you decide to hire the candidate with more experience. In this exercise, you need to explain your reasoning to your peers and to defend your choice against any objections that may arise. So again, we'll give you 5 minutes to do that task. In this task, we want you to find reliable sources. In this interactive activity, you will explore the importance of finding reliable sources of information, evaluating their credibility, while so much information is available online. It can be challenging to distinguish between trustworthy sources and those unreliable or baseless. By particularly those skills, you can become more informed and critical consumer of information. You will begin by deciding strategies for identifying reliable sources, such as academic journals, reputable news sources, and expert opinions. You will then explore the techniques for evaluating the credibility of these sources, including examining the author's credentials, checking their biasness, and verifying information through multiple sources. Finally, you will practice and apply these skills in the real-world examples, such as the news article and research studies. I'll give you 5 minutes for that task. Overcoming objections. In this interactive activity, you'll be presenting overcoming objections and addressing counter-arguments in a persuasive manner. This is an essential skill for anyone looking at communication effectively and to persuade others of their points of view. You will work through common objections and explore different strategies by addressing them. And by the end of this exercise, you will feel more confident with your ability to handle objections and make more compelling cases of your ideas. So again, I'll give you 5 minutes for that task. Case study, the power of persuasion in marketing. In 2012, Procter & Gamble launched a Thank You Mum campaign in conjunction with London Olympics. The campaign featured a heartwarming commercial to depict a mother supporting her child through various challenges of hardship. The goal of the campaign was to associate P&G's products with emotional connection between a mother and a child. The campaign was a huge success, with Procter & Gamble reporting a £500 million increase in sales during the Olympic period. The key of the campaign was successful and was the ability to tap into the emotions of the target audience and create a strong association with Procter & Gamble's products and that the love and support of a mother. Another case study looks at the persuasion of politics. In 2008, US president election, Barack Obama's campaign utilized persuasive communication techniques to great effect. One key strategy was his use of emotional appeals, such as his famous "Yes, we can" slogan and his powerful speech that inspired hope and optimism to his supporters. Another effective strategy was Obama's emphasis on his grassroots organizations and communities' involvement. The campaign utilized social media and other digital tools to engage with his voters and build strong bases for support. By empowering individuals to take ownership on his campaign and become more active and persuasive, become a more active participant, Obama was able to create a sense of shared purpose and mobilize a large number of volunteers. So, in this case study, looking at persuasion in personal relationships. In personal relationship, persuasive communication can be a valuable tool, get that right, in resolving conflicts and reaching agreements. One example of this is when a couple is trying to decide where to go on vacation. If one person wants to go to the beach whilst the other wants to go to the mountains, they may use persuasive communication to convince each other of their preferred destination. This involves using of evidence such as pointing out the benefits of each location, or appealing to the emotions or the excitement about spending time together. Another example of persuasive communication is in personal relationships, is where parents are trying to persuade their child to make healthier choices. For instance, if a child is reluctant to eat vegetables, the parent may use persuasive communication to explain the benefits of a balanced diet and encourage the child to try new foods. This could involve logic, reasoning, such as explaining how vegetables provide essential nutrients, and using positive reinforcement, such as praising the child when making healthier choices. Conclusion. In conclusion, to the art of persuasion, persuasion is a powerful tool and can be used to influence others to achieve their success in various contexts. Throughout the presentation, you've learned the importance of giving opinions and justifying choices effectively, using appropriate information, understanding your audience, and using emotion, logic, and body language to enhance the persuasiveness of your message. We've also explored the ethics of persuasive communication and the importance of developing effective skills in this area. By practicing interactive exercises and the case studies, we've learned from the success and improve our own ability. Remember, effective persuasive communication is not only about achieving our goals, but also about building stronger relationships and contributing to positive change in our communities. If you have any questions or answers, by all means, pop them in the PowerPoint area in the email. Hopefully you found that useful. Our next session, we are going to be looking at session 7, using language that is effective, accurate, and appropriate. And again, we have seen some excellent times when that's not been the case through those recordings that we've seen. Anyway, I wish you all the best luck, and I will see you in session 7.